Hello and welcome to Tech in Asia and Aspire Virtual Pitch Battle 2022. My name is Nat. I'm the managing editor at Tech in Asia Studios and your host for today's pitch battle. Leading up to today, we've been collaborating with our friends at Aspire and have received over 100 applications from early to mid-stage startups across the Asia-Pacific region. And from that pool, we've handpicked 6 very promising startups to pitch in front of our judges and all of you watching at home. Our startups are pitching for the chance to win some very attractive prizes, with today's winner walking away with $5,000 in cash and coverage on Tech in Asia, while the runner-up will have access to a mentorship office hour arranged by Aspire. Both our first and second place winners will also receive free incorporation or an upsized cashback of 3% on their first $10,000 qualifying spend per month for their first 6 months with Aspire. We're going to be playing by the standard pitch battle rules this afternoon. So each startup will have 5 minutes to present, at which point we will ring a bell when their time is up, and then the judges will have 5 minutes to grill the presenters in a Q&A. Speaking of our esteemed judges, please join me in welcoming onto the Zoom stage Inglan Tan, CEO and founding managing partner of Insignia Venture Partners, Ayu Tanusudibio, principal at B Capital Group, and Joel Leong, co-founder and country head for Singapore of Aspire. Good to have you with us today, judges. Thank you so much for joining us. How are you guys doing? Oh, I think you guys are still on mute. Are you guys okay?
We are great.
Good, Nathaniel. Thanks for the introduction.
No, thank you for joining us. Maybe let's hear from you guys what you're hoping to see from today's pitch battle. Perhaps we can hear from Joel first.
Well, yeah, thanks for having me, and excited to see what the different startups from the regions will bring today. I guess Aspire, serving a lot of these startups on a day-to-day basis. I don't quite have the same viewpoint as some of the other judges who sit on the investor side of the table. So for me, it's something really interesting, and I'm looking forward to the experience.
Wonderful. How about you, Ayu? Do you have any last-minute advice for all of the startups on the call right now who are just itching to present their startup ideas?
No, I have full faith that they're very well prepared. I'm just excited to learn about their journey in building the startup so far and the clear pain point that they're trying to solve.
All right, wonderful. So startups, your judges are very excited to hear from you. So if we're all ready, let's let the battle begin. So let's welcome our first startup of the day. We have Dexter from Alaga Health, who is based in the Philippines. Dexter, you are on camera right now. And Alaga Health creates innovative systems, integrated platforms, and mobile and web applications that make healthcare available anytime, anywhere, and in every way. I like that. Dexter, are you ready to pitch? All right, if you're ready, you have 5 minutes and your time starts now.
So get my presentation ready. It's a pleasure to meet all of our judges today, and thank you for the opportunity to pitch Alaga Health. Right, so begin with you. Right, so good day, everyone. I'm Dr. Dexter Galban, CEO and founder of Alaga Health. In the Philippines, 60% of Filipinos die without ever seeing a health professional. When I was much younger, my family lost my grandmother because we were unable to find affordable quality home healthcare. When I was training as a young doctor, I personally saw how some patients would wait up to 10 hours for just 10 minutes worth of medical consultation. And these problems continue to exist today because of the inaccessibility of quality healthcare, maldistribution of gainfully employed health professionals, and low-tech integration within the healthcare space in the Philippines. That's why today it is my honor and privilege to introduce to you the Philippines' first universal digital health marketplace and health service aggregator. We are Alaga Health. And what exactly do we do? Through the use of our integrated web systems, fully customizable admin panels, and very handy mobile applications, we're able to provide you with a roster of health services, essential health services, without jumping from app to app or platform to platform, meaning one platform for all your health needs. And what are these particular benefits? First and foremost, company and NGO benefits in the form of credits. And that can then be used for both virtual and in-person consultations, all done within the platform, which are then translated to in-app medicine purchasing. A lot of transactions happening inside the platform. If those are not your areas of interest, perhaps home healthcare, or even requesting your laboratory tests from blood tests and the like. We even have prime eye-level ad space to let more patients find out about essential medicines, services, and goods, and even an e-learning platform for them to know more about their health condition, increasing their stay time on the platform. And these integrated features have allowed us to work with over 37 institutional partners and onboard almost roughly more than 500,000 pledged patient users onto the platform. And what makes us very excited is that that number brings us closer to our target of 2 million users before the end of 2022. And what makes us particularly unique again is that we are the first digital health platform in the Philippines that's fully compliant with tax guidelines, allowing us to work very closely with national government without that agency being afraid of being audited. And at the same time, we are the health service partner of a global health media entity that's already present in over 9 countries. And they provide the content, we provide the service. And at the same time, we have opened the floodgates for health services to be featured in our platform regardless of where they came from, whether it's from MSMEs or corporate entities, the government, or even NGOs and CSOs. Because Alaga Health follows a B2B2C and B2G2C business model. And although we do have competitors in the field, as an integrator and aggregator, we're even open to collaborating with them to increase our reach and help them even grow their businesses. And how do we keep our revenue sustainable? How do we sustain the business? First, through commissions per transaction, advertisements and promotions, and a very special patient access program that can technically serve as an alternative to HMOs, wherein we can even help patients cut their costs by almost half, but increase compliance by the same amount. And this is our roadmap, our vision for growth, and we're currently on track towards hitting them. And because of the very overwhelmingly positive response that we have received a push from the government to consider a CN expansion, particularly for telehealthcare. And these have been our milestones. We began operations the latter part of 2021, and we are hoping with your help and guidance to hit our targets for 2022. And all of this is made possible by a collaborative team of government officials, health professionals, members of the academe, international designers, and software developers with multiple years experience from very recognizable companies and institutions alongside our very committed team. And these have been our accolades in 2021 alone. And that's why we're very, very excited at the prospect of being able to work with you and see what we can accomplish in 2022. And these are where we have been featured, and hopefully we can tell more people about Alaga Health. And all we ask is that you invest in the future of healthcare, invest in healthcare so that we can provide healthcare anytime, anywhere, in every way. Because with Alaga Health, what we want to see is that we can have more people getting better together. I'm Dr. Dexter Galban from Alaga Health. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much for the pitch, Dexter. Now we're going to move on to our Q&A. So judges, if you guys have any questions for Dexter, you guys can shoot now in the next 5 minutes.
Maybe I can ask the first question here. So, Doctor here, can you help elaborate more on the kind of care that your platform provides and whether the users typically are seeking more GP services or specialized care? And how are you sourcing the relevant doctors and medical practitioners for this?
We are able to onboard health professionals from all fields, and actually not just doctors, but even nutritionists, psychologists, and other allied healthcare professionals that allow us to decrease cost of healthcare. How are we able to work with them? Coming from the medical field, coming as a nurse and as a doctor, I'm also able to have my network onboarded there. And at the same time, we collaborate with medical institutions and even nursing institutions and allied health institutions to introduce them to an alternative mechanism of providing care. Apart from, of course, being in the hospitals, now through our platform, they're able to work more flexibly using their own time through telemedicine, or even establish their own practice via booking their clinic visits. And that's particularly helpful in the Philippines, wherein the cost of setting up your own clinic will be around the range of 20,000 to 50,000 US dollars at the very minimum. And through Alaga Health, no need for that. It's much simpler, and you can already earn revenue right at the get-go, whether you're a general practitioner or a specialist hoping to expand their services.
Hey, thanks, Dexter. This is Glenn here from Insignia. Can you talk a little bit about what's your unfair advantage in building Alaga Health?
What makes us particularly unique is that we are a universal digital health marketplace and health service aggregator. While there are attempts of doing this by other companies, they're primarily restricted by the brands that they carry, particularly those that are part of their company lineup. For us, we have opened the floodgates, so whether your health service is being provided by your doctor in the neighborhood or your clinic down the road, or even a massive hospital, or it's coming from government or even NGOs and CSOs, we can be able to provide them with a platform to let more people access their services. And that's particularly helpful in being able to mix and match the type of services that you're able to get, which actually increases compliance among patients. So although we are helping them cut their costs per transaction, they're actually consulting more because it is no longer threatening to them when it comes to the price barrier.
Hey, Dexter, can I ask how many of such providers do you have today? And second question, is there any regulatory requirement that you guys need or potential risks that you see kind of being an intermediary party dealing with such a specialized field of medicine?
As of today, we have roughly 300 healthcare providers onto the platform, and we're rapidly onboarding as we move along throughout the year. And our target is to hopefully have at least 2.5K or 2,500 healthcare providers before the end of the year, because we have shifted from very heavy tech development to sales and marketing for 2022. And in terms of regulatory requirements, the rules when it comes to telemedicine are very, very loose. And at the same time, even the provision of healthcare through the other means are outside the scope of the platform, primarily because we are just facilitating the booking as well as the actual conduct of the services. So in terms of the regulatory hindrances to Alaga Health, there are very few.
All right. Any of the judges have any more questions for Dexter? All right. Thank you so much, Dexter, for that pitch. And thank you, judges, for that. Yeah, wonderful pitch. We're going to move on to our next startup for this afternoon. So our next startup is from Indonesia. We have Bintang from Kopinpak. Kopinpak provides your daily necessities products in returnable and reusable packaging. So Bintang, are you on our screen right now? Do you have your presentation ready?
Yeah, can you see my screen now?
Yes, I can. If you could just go to presentation mode. Yes, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you are ready, your 5 minutes starts now.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for the opportunity. My name is Bintang, co-founder and CEO of Koinpack. So we are developing a tech-enabled reusable packaging system to help consumers and FMCG brands to eliminate plastic waste from the source. Currently, we are raising for $50K US to be able to scale our packaging portfolio to increase our marketing activities and acquiring more than 80,000 customers next year in Greater Jakarta only. So Indonesia faces a huge plastic packaging problem. We produce more than 66 million tons of plastic packaging waste per year, while only 7% are getting recycled. 90% of them, the rest, is ending up to pollute our environment. So our solution is that we are developing reusable packaging system to deliver FMCG brand products without waste, based on deposit and reward model. The products that we are delivering is ranging from cosmetics such as shampoo and body wash, home care products like detergent and dish care, and even food products. So how does it exactly work? First, we are supplying our reusable packaging to our FMCG partners. They will fill our packaging with their products within their site. And then we will distribute the finished goods into our point of sales for resellers, consisting of mom and pop stores, peer-to-peer networks, as well as community-based channels called waste banks, and later in mini market and supermarkets. Customers can purchase those products within those point of sales and then return the empty packaging back to the sales channels. Then we will collect, clean, and redistribute back the packaging to the FMCG for refilling. Customers can also purchase the products directly via our e-commerces and return directly the empty packaging to us via pickup service during the next purchase. These are the technology that we are developing to scale our solution. Our packaging is fully trackable, so it can be used up to 20 times and more. We are also launching application for our reseller to track their revenue and stocks. We are also developing our in-house cleaning and sanitization machine to clean the packaging. The market size of packaging in Indonesia is increasing steadily per year, $6 billion, and we are planning to capture around $180 million of the market within the next 3 to 5 years. We have been validating our solution in the market. We've grown 7 times in 2021, serving more than 1,000 customers, selling more than 19,700 products within our packaging, and 60% of the packagings are returned for refill. And 48% of the customers are doing repeat purchase. This contributed to prevent more than 150,000 single-use packaging. This only done through small-scale pilot within 51 sales points. Our business model is quite straightforward. So our FMCG partners is paying a per cycle fee of using our packaging. We are also capturing margin from distributing the finished goods into the market. Our team consisting of various experts with more than 30 years of combined experience in engineering, business acumen, and design experts. We are also backed by NVU, a social startup studio based in Rotterdam, Alpla, a top-notch of packaging producer based in Austria, as well as we are currently working with more than 5 FMCG companies, both global and local FMCG companies. Thank you for your time. We need you to help us to be the catalytic factor for front-running a reuse solution and inspire the market in Indonesia and beyond. Thank you very much.
All right, and thank you very much, Bintang, for that wonderful and very concise pitch. Now let's go back to the judges. Do any of the 3 of you have questions for Bintang?
Yeah, sure. Hey, Bintang, thanks for the summary of the business. Can you talk a little bit about how scalable the business is?
Yeah, I think it's interesting question. Given that we are working with more than 5 FMCG companies and the EPR regulation in Indonesia is keep pressing for the producer to reduce their packaging waste. So I think it's providing us a very big room for scaling our solution within the next 3 to 5 years. Even in our 6th year, we are expecting to be able to break even by providing our reusable packaging to our FMCG partners and working with more than 13,000 retailers in Greater Jakarta only.
Thank you.
Bintang, do you mind giving more details on your unit economics and how do you make this a profitable business?
Yeah, I think as we are getting more sales points and customers, the cost of the cleaning of the packaging will go down in line with the additional of packaging sold to our FMCG partners. So we are expecting to sell more than 57 million packaging within the next 3 years. So that is the number when we are reaching the break-even of the cost to provide this circular and reusable packaging system to our FMCG partners as well as to our end users.
I see, but as you scale, oh, sorry,
No,
I see, as you scale, will logistics costs be also a significant part of your cost?
Yeah, sure. Currently, we are having our in-house delivery fleet, but we have been talking with more than 3 third-party logistic of partners, and they are very interesting with the concept of reverse logistics. And we are planning to work with one of them in the next year. So yeah, I think once we are working with third-party logistic, I think the cost of the logistic will much more efficient and effective.
Hey, Bintang, can you share a little bit more about your go-to-market strategy? Like, are you selling products under the Koinpack brand, or are you working with large FMCG providers?
Currently, we are working with large FMCGs, both global and local. We have signed more than 5 letter of intents at the moment. We're also capturing some promising local brands with their organic and local brands. Currently, we are still working with small retailers because we want to push our social impact as well, like warung stores or mom and pop stores, as well as individual agent. And we're also having very unique new distribution channel called West Banks, where they are community-based channels. And later next year, we will expand to mini markets as well as supermarket. Along the way, we are getting endorsed by local regulatory body, such as the local FDA body in Indonesia. So yeah, that is our go-to-market strategy, Joe.
Cool. Judges, any more final questions for Bintang? Okay, well, thank you so much, Bintang, for that pitch.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you so much, Bintang. We're going to move on to the next startup who hails from Malaysia. It's Cult Creative. Cult Creative is rocket fuel to your creative career. Individuals can find creative jobs in Malaysia, connect with opportunities and employers, work together, and grow through its platform. We have Shermaine from Cult Creative. Shermaine, are you ready to pitch? I see
Hi,
you have your slides up.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you perfectly. Welcome to the stage.
Thank you.
Are you good to go?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you so much for having me, and I'm excited to pitch.
All right, then your 5 minutes will start now.
Hi guys, my name is Shermaine, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Cult Creative. Here with me, we have our co-founders Manisha and Lina. We have over 40 years of experience within the creative industry, along with our head of product, Ken, who also came from a graphic design industry background as well. As creatives, we struggle to find work because number one, the limited network outside of our industry. Number two, we still find work through a friend of mine, which is informal and unstructured. And number three, we don't feel valued or seen in traditional platforms like LinkedIn because they don't showcase portfolios. We also empathize with employers who struggle to find quality talent because number one, they lack the network and time. Number two, they lack the expertise to select the right applicants. And number three, it's time consuming and ineffective because there's no unified platform to view portfolios. Over 70 million MSMEs are looking to employ over 27 million creative professionals in Southeast Asia. We want to narrow down to 10.5 million employers with an average spend of $210 per year. Our projected SEM is 2.3B. Think of us as the LinkedIn for the creative world. We have digitized professional talents to match them with employers. We are much more than a job site. Creatives use our platform because of the community appeal, allowing them to feel valued and seen. The all-in-one portfolio showcases their best work, allow them to apply for niche positions and connect and collaborate. With a head start of data collection, our platform will match talent and employees based on their experiences and preferences. Employers now are willing to pay $15,000 for recruiters for an experienced creative position. We can suggest the best talent, quick and low cost at a fraction of price at $2,000. Here's the user feedback that we've gotten from a creative. Her name is Adani. She's a freelance creative manager. She says that the profile feature of the app showcases her best work in less words, and the job feature is compact and fast, allowing them instant connection with companies. And a feedback from our employer, Joanne from Digital Symphony, says that Cult Creative has connected me to talent options of the highest quality. They provide a simple and convenient process to assess and access talents. Employers can purchase job tokens to post up jobs. $70 per job token can last for 70 days. And based on our data, for the same creative position, it takes only 22 applications for Cult Creative to have a success match as compared to LinkedIn, which takes 60 days. In Q3, we'll be introducing a headhunting service that automates through simple data points like skills, years of experience, preferred employment type, and salary. It's a monthly subscription model for $210 per month. Since our beta launch in September, we have had an organic month-on-month user growth of 97% with over 3,500 downloads. Top countries are Malaysia, US, Singapore, and Indonesia. Our return rate for customers are at 55%, and 1 out of 4 companies hire through Cult Creative. Our total revenue for 2021 from May to December is $15,000 with a month-on-month revenue growth of 105%. Since we released beta in December, our app has been free to onboard more users. We end February, and we have already sold 25 job tokens, and the total revenue for last month is $2,000. We are low cost as compared to headhunters, and we are fast with high success matching rate because of the quality talent and employers. Our moat lies in the network feature for creative professionals. We have identified a gap that's unfilled in ASEAN. Competitors like Fiverr undervalue our creators' work, whereas we envision a regional talent pool for a creator-led network. Similar to GitHub, our moat lies in our network effect, strengthened by the time invested by creatives to build their portfolio and profile. Unlike other job placement and recruitment tools, Cult Creative provides services useful for its user beyond finding work. Creatives can also network and collaborate with like-minded peers, and beyond collaboration, they use that to also find their next opportunities as well. Our go-to-market has been purely organic. We start off with Instagram, and now all our social media, we have over 23,000 followers. We have MOU partnerships with top universities as well, funneling their fresh graduates to our job matching platform. We also work with edtech platforms like General Assembly. They've got a UI UX course. We funnel their graduates into our for job opportunities as well. We also have online and offline activations to help them break through the creative industry. As for employers, we have strategic partnerships with government agencies to become a talent solution provider. We work with MDEC, who has over 22 co-working spaces, My Startup, who has over 5,000 startups within their network, and also HRDs, which is a job placement platform with over 18,000 job seekers. So with that, we also onboard them, also providing them offline, online education to educate employers on how to hire, manage, and lead creative talents. So our ask is for an 18-month runway to expand sales network technology
All right,
capabilities.
sorry to cut you off, Shermaine, but that's your 5 minutes. No worries
No worries.
at all. We're going to move to our judges right now who can ask you some questions. Judges, do any of you have any questions for Shermaine?
Why would I use you versus Fiverr or freelancer.com or some of the other platforms out there?
Great question. So what sets us apart is definitely the quality creatives that we have. As you can see, Fiverr is a lot of, you have a lot of $5 to do a logo within 3 days, and you realize that the quality of work is not good. Whereas we really invest in the creative potential, making sure that their career progression is with us, and also allowing them to also, it's like LinkedIn like that, having that progression with their career. Having quality talent and quality employees is a big part of our app. Hope that answers your question. Yeah.
Shermaine, what encourages both the creatives and the employers to be, to keep using the platform, as opposed to once they're matched, they're comfortable with working with a specific creative and they just go off the platform and continue to work separately?
That's a great question. So we really liken ourselves to GitHub, right? So a creative's career is non-linear and it's mostly gig. A lot of the creatives come back to us despite their, having full-time jobs, freelance job, and part-time jobs. So once an employer has a match with a creative talent, they will come back and use us. And based on our data, we have We've also had a success matching rate of 29%, which is a big key success metric. And also our employees' return rate is at 55%. They come back to us because, again, of the quality talent. Thank you for your question.
I see. And just one more follow-up question. What type of creatives are using your platform primarily at this point?
Great question. So right now we're targeting creatives within the design, advertising, and tech industry. A lot of graphic designers, multimedia designers, digital marketing, content creation, social media, and UI UX.
And today, where is your user base largely based, both candidates and employers?
We are based in Malaysia. That's the biggest group right now. We have over 3,500 downloads. Top country is Malaysia. After that is US, and then Singapore and Indonesia. Our employees actually come from regionally. We've got employees from Singapore, Indonesia, and we've got creatives coming from Philippines as well. We also hold a lot of online activations, a lot of freelance mixes to sort of get the network, to build the network beyond Malaysia.
All right, judges, any final questions for Shermaine? Okay, I think that's it for you, Shermaine. Thank you so much for that wonderful pitch.
Thank you so much. All right, have a great one, guys.
Thank you. So we're going to move on to our next participant for this pitch battle, Sekitar from Indonesia. Sekitar is an e-commerce business that fulfills your daily needs in just 20 minutes. And from Sekitar, we have Nasrul. Nasrul, I see you on screen right now. Are you ready with your presentation?
Hello, Nat. Let me present. Yeah.
Sure thing.
It's on to you.
All right. Yep, we can see it. We can hear you loud and clear. So if you are ready, your 5 minutes will start now.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Nasrul. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Sekitar. So we are a quick commerce startup. We provide daily needs in 20 minutes. So grocery are the one of most essential product that we buy it frequently on daily, on weekly basis. So there are three kinds of grocery shopping behavior: top up, unplanned, and also stock up. Top up and unplanned usually happens on small retailers like warung, local shop, or convenience store, while stock up usually happens on big retail like traditional market, supermarket, hypermarket. In Indonesia, top up and unplanned cover more than 60% of all grocery shopping transactions in Indonesia. Top up and unplanned are the majority of grocery shopping in Indonesia through online or offline channel. But despite the huge potential of grocery, we face some problem in grocery shopping. When we want to shop from online channel, we must face some problems like we spend much time to go to the shopping store, and then we must face some traffic jam, long queue line, etc. It's all inconvenient. When we want to buy it from e-commerce or e-grocery, usually they provide only regular or next day delivery. Even if they have instant delivery service, it still takes like 3 hours to get the items delivered with expensive delivery service, with expensive delivery fee more than $1. And current e-groceries usually only focus on fresh products. They are not so deep in some categories, despite fresh or the other or fresh product. So introducing you Sekitar. So we provide daily essential in less than 20 minutes. We partner with network of local merchants as well as operating our delivery-only store known as Dexter. We want to revolutionize how people shop for their daily needs in a fast and convenient way. We provide fast delivery in less than 20 minutes. We have a product variant, more than 3,000 SKUs, wide and deep product selections, and then we offer products at retail price and cheapest flat delivery fee. So the user can shop conveniently from their preferred store without leaving their home. E-grocery market in Indonesia grows rapidly. So grocery market in recent year grows like 5% CAGR over the last 2 years. And e-grocery market is still penetrate less than 1%. It's still very small, and there are a lot of room to grow for this. And it's expected to grow as much as 6 billion in 2025. Indonesia will be the 4th biggest grocery market in Asia. So we are targeting the customer in middle up class that are growing in recent year by year. So we also targeting the user who are usually shop for top up and also unplanned grocery shopping. We run a hybrid model. We operate our dark store called Sekitar Flash that will be placed or located in some strategic specific urban areas. We can generate margin up to 30%. And then we also partner with Sekitar merchants, mostly specialty store. They can fulfill user demand for more varied and also deep assortment products. We take commission fee around 5%. And we have Sekitar delivery that will over flat delivery around $0.7 with 20% commission fee. So imagine like we want to buy general things, we can buy it from convenience store, but we want to buy specific things, better we go to pharmacies, meat store, etc. So that the customer can get everything on our platform. This is our proposition. So we deliver any deals in a fast and also with flat delivery. And we offer more SKUs than the other players because we operate our dark store and also we partner with merchant partner. User can get general product from our dark store and they can get specific products from our merchant partners. We are targeting for top up and also unplanned grocery shopping. We are available 24/7. So this is a quick snapshot of our progress. We just launched in March this year, and then we just launched in one place only in Bintang, and we already generated more than 500 total orders from 250 customers. We partner with more than 100 merchants. Our average order value is around $5, and we have 5 times week-on-week growth. So in the future, we will create some revenue stream, such as a partnership. We will partner with brands and also principal to create co-marketing, doing promotion, etc. We will also offer ads for merchants and also brands so that they can ads to sell more products through our platform. We will also do a supply chain for.
All right, thank you so much, Nasrul. Sorry to cut you off, but that's your 5 minutes. But thank you so much for that pitch. We're gonna move to the judges right now. Judges, do you guys have any questions for Nasrul?
What SKUs are selling well, and who is buying?
Okay, so right now the most selling SKU is sembako or essential products like cooking oil, eggs, and also fresh product like vegetable. Right now, these three kinds is the most selling products in our platform right now.
Nasrul, as some of us might be aware, the quick commerce space in Jakarta is very heated. There's a lot of competitors, as you've shown your competitor map. So what is your advantage here and what's your go-to-market plan to make sure that you don't get drowned out by competition?
Sure. Okay, yeah, we have a clear, unique selling propositions. While the other quick commerce operate only dark store, we also partner with merchant partner. So while the other quick commerce provide only 1,000 more SKUs, we can provide more than 3,000 SKUs because we partner with merchant partner. For example, when you find some specific medicine, you cannot find it to the other platform, but you can find it to merchant partner, they partner with us. So that's the clear proposition that we offer to customer. And also our go-to-market strategy, we acquire retail merchant through offline strategy, and then we place some advertisement in that price. So actually, the customer, like this one in Bintaro, we partner with some 100 more merchants, and then we place some banner on that location. We get the customer from that kind of acquisition. So this is the first our go-to-market strategy to acquire some specific user in some specific locations.
I see. If you can just help illustrate a little bit, let's say you're working with a merchant partner for pharmaceutical medicines, for Paramex, let's say, but the customer is also ordering from you cooking oil. how do you make sure to get both orders under 15 and 20 minutes if they're actually located in two different warehouses or stores?
Okay, so actually what makes us different when compared to the other marketplace, we limit our radius in only 3 kilometers. So the customer could only find products or stores within 3 kilometer radius. So that's why we can make sure the delivery time is in under 20 minutes. And also we have dedicated driver that can provide delivery service in a fast way. So it's different with the other player that the driver can deliver passenger, food, or etc. Our driver only deliver this kind of things. So we can make sure that we deliver in less than 20 minutes. So the customer can choose, they can order from our dark store, or they can order from the specific merchant that sell their specific products.
Thank you.
All right, if no more questions for Nasrul and Sekitar, we're going to move on to the next startup. So thank you so much, Nasrul. Our next startup is from Thailand. So let's invite Chanya from Homepage. So Homepage app brings passionate creators together so you can have more fun doing what you love and learning from one another. Chanya, are you ready with your presentation?
Yes. Okay, let me make sure I pick the right PowerPoint.
Yep, it's up. I can see it.
Sure. So I believe that the future of education isn't going to be in the classroom facilitated by teachers or exams, but it's the opportunity to allow young generations to really do what they love, put their skills and talents into practice, and have the opportunity to really make a living doing what they love. My name is Chanya, and I'm the founder and CEO of Homepage. So Homepage is a community-led creator platform that's going to connect young creators together, help them collaborate, and get access to opportunities to put their skills to work since a very young age. So to give you an idea of what kind of people we're talking about, here is Richard. Richard is one of our 50 beta users at the moment. We just launched our beta 2 weeks ago. He's from the US, and he is a self-taught photographer and NFT artist. So the thing about this young generation that we'll notice is that they are mostly self-taught. They learn things from YouTube, they do their own research and become really, really good at a very young age. That's why they have this desire to showcase their skills from, even as a young teenagers. And so this is the goal that we notice is that they want to be really good, and they also want to help other people get good. Now, Richard isn't just the only person out there, he's not a niche market, because in reality, as we have seen from our 15 users from 15 countries, is that whether you're in India, you're in Europe, Egypt, New Zealand, there are these kids who are sharing their work, who are into coding, who are into photography, art, and they really want to put their work out there. And most importantly, they want to get connected by people who would truly value what they do and have the same passion. So it's not just sharing my work anymore, but it's going to be like, hey, let's share our techniques. Hey, let's discuss how did you get so good? What camera lens do you use? That's what they want the most, making friends. So, but here's the problem, right? Today, these type of content creators, the talented young gens, they are so marginalized and deprioritized, because look at social media today. It's all about entertainment, viral content, funny videos, that no matter how hard these guys work to create reels, post tons of stories, it's still so difficult to discover them. And secondly, because of their age, no matter how good they are, wherever they go, they're not going to get as much credibility because they are young, but they really want to put their skills to use. And thirdly, we see that, okay, there are these platforms that exist that help creators showcase their past work experience, like LinkedIn. But what these young generations say is, honestly, I don't feel like I belong there. I don't feel like this is a place for me. It's so formal, it's so corporate. And as you know, these kids don't want that 9-to-5 jobs. They really want to turn their hobbies into a real job. So despite the problem, there's a huge opportunity in this space. So think about the fact that more than half of Gen Zs and millennials want to be content creators. That's over 1 billion people worldwide. And just look at last year, the top highest paid YouTubers, top 10, half is younger than 18 years old. So we can see that these guys have so much passion, so much talent, and the audience love them. And as I said earlier, 3 in 4 of them want to turn their hobbies into a full-time job. So obviously, to do that, there has to be a platform first to help them showcase their skills. Well, all in all, in about 5 years from now, it's predicted by Antler that there will be around 1 billion content creators worldwide. And because of that, Homepage is here to facilitate, incubate, and help these content creators. So at Homepage, we're really helping to bring people together, the young generation, and help them build community. We help them match friends who would be there to talk to them about their hobbies. We help them collaborate within and across community. You're an artist, then say I'm a songwriter, I get matched with a guitarist, and you can really maximize your talents. And you can also build a community together on Homepage. So it's your work plus your community all in one place. So let's take a look at how Homepage works. So when you come on a Homepage, the first thing you can do is build your own homepage. So basically, we allow users to create different rooms or allow them to showcase different sides of them, because more than 75% of our interviewees say that they have more than 5 hobbies, but they only get to show one side on Instagram or TikTok. If not, it messes up with the algorithm. So this is a place for them to share more. And we allow them to share not just photos or videos, but also writings and links. The idea we have is that a lot of people are now, when they go travel, they post photos, but
All right, Chanya, sorry, I'm going to have to cut you off right there. That's your 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that pitch. But now we're going to move on to the judges to see if they have any questions for you. So judges, does anyone have anything for Chanya for Homepage app? Perhaps we could start with Joel. Do you have any questions for Chanya?
Hey, Chanya. How do you intend to make money?
Right. So here is the 3 main ways we're making money. The top one is contribute to earn. So just like Web3 play to earn for us is when you contribute to the community, when you share your content, when you create events on our app, you get that reward, which will turn into, which is the coins that we have in our community. And then the other 2 ways are the typical ways that many apps are doing, tipping and selling digital products through our app.
Chanya, it seems like this is the type of platform that will need to build to scale before it gains value. So how are you planning to scale the users and get more users on board? And more importantly, have them be active, since this might be their 2nd or 3rd social media platform.
Right. So right now, from the 2 weeks that we have launched our beta app, we've received extremely positive feedback, because as I said, these guys are the users really have other sides of them they want to share. But in terms of the go-to-market strategies, let me just pull out here. So with the investments that we have, we want to invest into getting, talented influencers in. We also want to invest in helping these creators sell their work in NFTs. So really boosting the values they get from our app. And since we have already talented people on the website, we are planning to do this masterclass, but teen edition. Like, how did this 16-year-old become a professional DJ, and launch it? And as we are doing this for marketing, we're also trying to push and showing that our users really have talents.
I see. No, thanks for that details.
Actually, the brand collabs would also be one thing as well. When you get coins from our community, you can turn that token into discounts for brands who work with us. And then we get visibility from our partner brands as well.
Understand.
Thank you.
All right. Any final questions for Chanya and Homepage? Cool. If not, thank you so much, Chanya. That was a wonderful pitch. We're going to move on to our final startup for this afternoon. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nat.
Last but not least, we have another startup from the Philippines. So please welcome on stage Van from TaraGo. TaraGo is your go-to mobile application to streamline travelers to rural hosts. So Van, I see you have your slides up on the Zoom. Are you ready to begin? Oh, I don't hear you, Van. I think you're still on mute.
Sorry for that. Yeah.
No worries. Cool. So if you are ready, your 5 minutes will start now.
Okay. Can anyone hear me clear?
Yep, we can all hear you, Van.
Okay. Mabuhay! TaraGo is go-to mobile application for rural adventure and outdoor experience that will streamline traveler to tourist villages or rural tourism destination. Our company is a community-based social enterprise to address UN Sustainable Development Goals, decent work, and economic growth to rural. We are at the very early stage of development, the mobile application, seeking pre-seed funds of $500,000 to build tourism villages as travel hosts and to get TaraGo app on board. Van Zambrano, COO and co-founder. Problem now, COVID-19 devastated more than 75% of travel spending globally. However, vaccine campaign allowed traveler recovery locally, in which revenge travelers urged to travel after being locked down will cause over-tourism. On the other hand, over-tourism is a tourism mismanagement of pre-pandemic destination, and still the effect of it is felt even today. Nevertheless, rural tourism or tourism villages serves as the new destination that being promoted by UNWTO has no online listing platform to book for rural travel. Our solution, TaraGo app, is an adventure-centric go-to mobile application that aims to streamline traveler to rural tourism hosts. At the same time, will create opportunity to the village people to become a host of their unseen, untraveled, untapped, and hidden tourist spots. Our product is an adventure-centric, Swiss knife-like go-to mobile application for rural outdoor experience. Our vision is to become gamified travel to earn platform as the future of smart travel. The user interface has search listing filter features, review listing booking, earn travel badges and collectible token rewards, social network following, and GPS tracker that will enable adventure tourists share their real-time location to loved ones and friends. Call for help button is also available during outdoor activity to alert nearby rescue groups or police station in case of emergency. Our solution, TaraGo app, is an adventure-centric. The market size, the increasing popularity of adventure tourism and urban dwellers, consumer are turning to outdoor living for recreational getaway hub, according to Euromonitor Consumer Trend 2021 report. According to MarketWatch.com, that the source of mass tourism and revenge travel tourists are on their way that estimated global market revenue of 6.1 billion from 2021-2026. On the other side, we are looking into 52 million serviceable addressable market in Asia Pacific as the borders start to open for tourists. We are targeting 7% of serviceable obtainable market, which 3.6 million heading to rural tourism. Just recently, Airbnb commissioned Economist Impact to conduct survey tourist traveler, which they found out that travelers are becoming more conscious to create impact in rural tourism. Our market validation is anchored on existing market size of Couchsurfer, Airbnb user, solo traveler, adventure surfer, our customer pipelines. Our business model, we take 20% commission on every successful transaction on our platform. Weekenders are local tourist movement that are seeking for getaway hub every weekend, and we projected average of $50 in 2 nights that will give us $10 commission per transaction. Based on that assumption, our projected revenue by 2020 will be 30 million. And The obtainable markets such as woman, solo traveler, digital nomad, adventure, and sports community are added to our customer pipeline. In order for us to be successful, our team composed of 3 technical guys that has more than 10 years of experience: Daniel, back-end engineer; PJ, front-end engineer; Rendell, creative designer, and 2 of non-technical guys include me and my wife, who loves Get Lost Travel since 2006. Now, who likes to travel? Tara, go. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Van. That was a wonderful presentation. Now we're going to go to our judges for a Q&A. Judges, do any of you have questions for Van and for TaraGo? Perhaps we could start with Ayu. Do you have any questions for Van?
Sure. Van, thank you for sharing your story here. I'm curious to know how big is the market in terms of the rural local host, and 2, are these people more technologically adept in using the platform and willing to use it? What has your experience been?
My experience as a host, I am a host back 2010. This is my story. That's why I created this idea. Like the rural tourism are already there, promoted by UNWTO, and we want to create impact on this market to equalize the opportunity of sharing economy. So we want to build community. Yet by now, but there are existing business out there in the rural that we already started to open, like coffee shop in the middle of the farm, the homestay in Malaysia, and the kubo, bahay kubo in the Philippines, and in Thailand there is a triangle house accommodation that you can stay during the weekend. So for the participation of the rural who has no opportunity yet by now, so we want to give them the opportunity to equalize this market size.
I see, but are they willing to participate though, or are they, usually not keen on using technology?
Yes, of course. They are willing to learn. And TaraGo, our rule here is to teach them how to use the technology, not to teach them how to become an effective host. Because if we are going to teach them a high-class hosting, we are not able to experience the cultural immersion that we are going to get from the rural area. So in order for them, and mobile application and mobile technology right now are very available even in the rural area. And when you ask about how we are able to give network on this mobile phone, I think in Southeast Asia, mobile phone network are very available now, and there's no problem for that, as I have seen the situation.
I see. Are you competing with other travel platforms that are focusing on experiences?
Yeah, that's a nice question. Like if you can see in the slides here, we identify 4 quadrant of competition right now, and we have big players here. We have TripAdvisor, Lonely Planet, but they are travel guides and they are less verified. And also Traveloka, Klook, they are booking listing of hotels, of budget hotels, and they are competing with the same supplier. And we have also travel agencies and private adventure operators which organize the events and then get all the money and pay only the host in their per day salary. And what we are going to identify, Airbnb is urban experience and accommodation. And for STR, the short-term rentals, they are less connection with the local. What we are going with what's our differentiator here? We are go to rural travel app. So get lost is okay for you if you have TaraGo app.
Okay, looks like we're good. Thank you so much, Van. That was a wonderful presentation. Thank you for your time. All right, so that makes 6 participants for everyone back home who is counting, which means that Van is actually our final startup for tonight. So thank you to all the startups who've put themselves out there, pitched their businesses, to our judges. And thank you so much, of course, to our judges for taking the time to listen to these very promising budding entrepreneurs. Now, you 3 have a monumental and difficult decision to make, and our audience can participate with your decision as well. So everyone watching from home right now, if you look at your Zoom window, you should see a poll that's just launched, which you can log in your favorite startup pitch for this afternoon. So you can let us know there who your favorite startup of the day is. In the meantime, our judges have to step away to deliberate on who tonight's winner will be. So let's keep the conversation going while they get into another room by welcoming some of my colleagues on the Tech Nation newsroom to the Zoom stage. Please welcome Deepti Sri and Aditya Hadi Pratama. Deepti and Adit, are you guys there?
Yeah, we're here.
All right. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you guys are doing well.
Yes, very well. Thank you.
Yeah, how about you, Ned?
Oh, I'm great actually. You know, no one really asked me that question because I'm always asking that question. So it's so nice to hear that.
I want to be the first one.
Thank you so much. But it's great of you guys to join me to actually talk about our participants for this afternoon. And I'm curious to know, actually, since our audience right now is logging their answers into the poll and our judges are stepping away to decide who their favorite startup is. For the two of you, who really struck you this afternoon? Which was your favorite startup and why? Maybe let's start with Dipti for this one. Dipti, who really caught your attention today?
I think it was a range of choices we have today. I mean, I think I saw like a great mix of startups ranging from health tech and sustainability and social media and quick commerce, obviously. But it was a lot of fun to listen to all these pitches. They were great ideas, and all these startups have clearly done their research. I mean, I had very few questions, and but I think what struck to me as very different that I hadn't come across till now would probably be called creative, because I thought as somebody who is, you know, partly into the creative field, partly into finance, we're always looking for a chance to, you know, show how creative we are, and rightly so. LinkedIn doesn't fit a lot of boxes there, right? So I think this should come across as like a big relief for artists who are actually looking for mediums to put their talent across. And I thought Cult Creative was very fun to watch. The pitch deck was super neat, super concise, answered pretty much all our questions. It was great.
Yeah, actually, like when Shermaine from Cult Creative was presenting, I was very cautious not to like weigh in that really struck me because I'm a creative as well. I didn't want to tip the scales too much for the judges before we heard all the stars. But yeah, I really resonated with that with your sharing, Deepti. How about you, Adit? Like, which one do you think is your favorite from this afternoon?
I don't know. Can I use the local pride spirit here? You know, because two of the startup are from Indonesia, but anyway, I think I have some opinion, because if I only hear the pitch, I think I really enjoy Fan from TaraGo and Chanya from Homepage. I think their pitch is really interesting and intriguing and encourage me to try the apps and everything. But overall, I think in terms of business model, I don't know, maybe I'm quite biased because I really into quick commerce right now, and I think I just found that Sekitar dark stores is really near my house, so actually I can use the app. So maybe I will use their solution first, maybe. Nat.
Right. It always helps when it's a solution that you can actually use and you see them presenting, right?
Yeah, I think I like how Sekitar can combine the dark stores with the surrounding merchants nearby, because sometimes I want to find maybe a tailor who because my button is lost and everything. I need some tailors, but I cannot find any in my surrounding. Well, anyway, he just like nearby there, but I don't know that he or she is there.
Right, right. Well, I know we've actually had quite a few articles about dark stores and quick commerce recently on Tech in Asia. So I'm curious, because that's a business model that, we're seeing pop up a lot, not just in Indonesia, but in India, even here in Singapore. Are there any other of the participants whose business models really stood out to you guys? Like, which ones had the most interesting business model that was novel and something that I think really shook things up? Deepti, maybe you could weigh in on this.
Oh yes. So when you're talking about like a business model, I think I found Koinpack's business model quite fun. They had a reward-based model. I think at a time like this, when sustainability is on all of our charts, it's right up there. And as users, we're also becoming a little more conscious towards getting ourselves into the sustainability mode. I think this actually gives us a little more incentive to go green. And I think it's also like a fun model where you want to try it out, because I am very curious to like find out how this really works, right? So I thought it's just the curiosity element that actually adds on to having a bigger goal at the end of your purchase. Yeah. So I found Koinpack model pretty fun.
Right. Yeah. It is actually pretty interesting. Like when Koinpack was pitching, I was like, wow, that's something actually that at least for me, like I'd never heard of before. So that really did stand out to me. Yeah. Adit, how about you? Like, did you find any interesting business models from today's participants?
Yeah, I think because I think because of the pandemic and everything, I think many people are really need a solution like Alaga Health right now, right? But personally, I also a father of two daughters, and I want to see my daughter like expand their interest and everything. So I think the business model of homepage is really interesting for me. Like if it's available in Indonesia, I want to get my my daughters to join the apps and try whether they can be a YouTuber or not. I don't know, maybe sell NFT.
Oh yes, oh yes. How I wish we had that service when we were kids, right?
Oh, Chanya chat, send a chat in a chat room.
Yeah, she's inviting you to join their platform. So that's actually pretty cool. Like, whenever I host these pitch battles, I do end up thinking for a lot of the participants that are not based in Singapore or don't have services in Singapore yet. I keep thinking like, oh man, like if you were here, I would be using the service so much, right? Like, don't you guys feel that whenever you go for a pitch battle?
Oh yes, it's not just region wise. I wish after this pitch meeting, I feel like I wish we were younger. I wish we lived in different places. I wish we had broader choices. Oh yes, they kind of do make us look back.
Yeah, it does make you look back. Now, actually, I saw a comment on the chat a little while up from someone who thinks that there's already a clear winner based on go-to-market and traction so far. Now, they didn't elaborate on that, but I do want to know what you guys think in terms of the growth trajectory or the proven success so far of the startups that have pitched this afternoon. What do you guys think? I guess, are you guys comfortable with guessing who you think that Charles Kelso is indicating has the best go-to-market and traction so far? Deepti, what do you think about this?
I think I think that's quite a strong opinion to have, but based on pitches that we could see completed, I feel like Alaga definitely had a very clear product roadmap, and they knew exactly what they wanted in terms of where they're headed towards traction. So I thought that was pretty clear, and they covered all aspects. Yeah, they covered like a partner aspect and a business aspect and a user aspect. So that felt like a very wholesome pitch to me, at least in terms of market transactions. So I think that would be my guess. I think that's where they're hitting.
Right. How about you, Adit? Do you agree, or do you have another potential candidate for best go-to-market and traction?
Yeah, I think I lost my count which of the startup that have the biggest traction or go to market and everything, but I don't know whether it's like one of the key things that the judges will decide the winner. But I think I think I agree that Alaga has a very attracting go to market and traction that I think I don't know, maybe they already been here like for years, I think. I don't know.
Right. And actually, on that note, like, what do you think the judges will be using as kind of the rubrics for their choice on who's going to win tonight? You guys have been to plenty of pitch battles. I'd say way more pitch battles than I have. So what do you think the judges are gonna what rules are they gonna play by when they choose the startup? Do you think there are any indicators as to what kind of rubric they will follow?
Yeah, I think for me there are three things. The first one is traction, of course. The second one I think is the uniqueness compared to other. Maybe if you build another Tokopedia, another Gojek, I think it's not interesting enough, right? And the third one I think is the how the founder answer their questions, how they understand the business and everything, the deep knowledge of their respective business. I think that's the three things that maybe will decide who's the winner.
Right. Deepti, do you have something to weigh in?
I think I pretty much agree with Adit. Adit's been quite clear, but I think also how confident the founders have been could play into one of their decisions, and I think it's just how I think it's also about how aware they are of their own business models and their flaws, and their map towards rectifying them. I think that could be a potential factor.
Right. So I'm curious to know whether you think, because we did talk about how a little while ago, we do wish that some of these startups had like been around when we could have used them, or even right now, like be in the places where we are. But which one of these do you think has the biggest addressable market? And I'm thinking, in terms of which one could potentially be replicable to the greater Southeast Asia region, the greater Asian region, or even like a global sense. Like, do you guys have any thoughts on that?
I think me and others have a very similar answer for this. I think I have like a strong feeling about this. I think it has to be quick commerce or health tech. I think that could be very obvious answers.
Yeah. Let's talk about quick commerce actually. Why are we hearing so much about it? First of all, because I mean, I scroll on the Technasia homepage every day because it's our job. But we hear about so many quick commerce startups. Why is it the quick commerce do you think is such a thing right now?
You want to go at it there?
I don't know. I think basically it's because many people building it, and the idea sounds pretty interesting for the investors and also for customers. But I think the key is whether they are solving the real problem in the certain countries or not. That's why I think in several countries maybe quick commerce will not work, but in Indonesia I think I talk with some of the people, they are still desperate with the reliability of some of the existing services. So I think quick commerce will fill a gap in there.
Right. Yeah, well, guys, I think as we've been speaking, I realized that our judges have returned. But thank you so much for spending this time with me so that I don't have to talk to the audience by myself, even though that is always a pleasure. But it's even more so a pleasure to be spending the time talking to you, to Deepti and Adit. So thank you for your time.
Thank you,
Nat.
Bye.
All right, and now welcome back to the judges. I see Ayo and Joel on screen. I hope you guys have had enough time to discuss today's winner. But before we announce who that is, let's do a little fun thing without spoiling the results. What can you guys tell me about them? Maybe Joel, what can you tease about today's winner?
What can I tease about today's winner?
Or is it too specific a question that like you described them a little bit? Maybe perhaps you could tell us what impressed you so much about the winner that you chose them to be our first place startup for today.
I think maybe, well, firstly, thanks everyone for, tuning in and for giving us the opportunity to, deliberate. I think what we saw today was interesting in that we had startups at maybe varying stages of even within the early stage of their startup. I think there was a variation as to how far along each of those startups were in their journey, right? I think what was clear to us when we were talking about it was that there were some startups that pitched that maybe were still early, still trying to figure out a little bit of that product market fit, what their real hook is, what their go-to-market is. And I think what impressed us about the startup that we chose as the winner was probably because they were further along that journey. I think the business model was clear, the go-to-market was clear.
Right.
Maybe that's what I can share, and I can also share that maybe second place, which maybe I don't know, you might ask Ayu more about, was a really difficult decision for us.
Well, Ayu, do you have anything to weigh in about how you made your decision for our first and second place winners for today?
It was a tough call, as Joel mentioned. I think we did a couple of back and forth. I agree with him in that I think the startup that we picked is a little bit more further along in crystallizing the idea on how to solve the pain point that they aim to solve. I think that's the key here. Not to discount any of the other ideas or efforts that the other startups have put into. I think all of them has identified very unique pain points, and all of them has definitely tried to crystallize the idea on how they plan to tackle it. It's just, we're splitting hairs here.
Well, it's always a tough call on these pitch battles. So I do thank you to, and of course, our other judge, England from Insignia Venture Partners, for helping us make that decision and helping make today happen. So thank you guys so much. But before we actually announce the winner of today's TechInasia and Aspire Pitch Battle 2022 winner, let's just do a quick recap of what's at stake here. The winner will walk away with $5,000 in cash and coverage on TechInasia, while our runner-up will have access to a mentorship office hour arranged by Aspire. Both of them will also receive free incorporation or an upsized cashback of 3% on the first $10,000 qualifying spend per month for the first 6 months with Aspire. So without further ado, let's announce the results. The runner-up for TechInasia and Aspire Pitch Battle 2022 is Homepage. Congratulations to Homepage for coming in second. And now, for the moment we've all been waiting for, the winner of today's pitch battle. The winner who is walking away with $5,000 in cash and coverage on TechInasia is Alaga Health. Can we please invite Alaga Health and Dr. Dexter Galban onto the stage again, please? Congratulations, Dexter.
Hi, it's a pleasure. Thank you very much. And I'm looking forward to helping everyone get better healthcare anytime, anywhere, in every. Thank you very much, TechInasia, and of course, Aspire.
All right. And thank you, Dexter. Thank you, Chanya, and thank you to all of our participants for today for joining us. for pitching, for putting yourselves out there. Thank you, of course, to our judges for sticking it out and helping us make the hard decisions. But I had a great time listening to all of the startup pitch. I had a great time talking about it with my colleagues as well. And I hope that everyone at home had a great time joining us today. Make sure to check out the Tech in Asia webpage for more events like today's pitch battle. And on behalf of the Tech in Asia and Aspire teams, take care and we will see you again soon.